Well, I'm not in jail. I am here. Erik Corcoran here. I am really happy to not be sitting in a jail cell somewhere. But you know what? I spoke out and I used my First Amendment right today. There is a battle brewing, however, and I do want to read that. Erik Corcoran, you are summoned. You are summoned to appear before the trial officer. City of Charleston Municipal Judge, 180 Lockwood Boulevard, Charleston, South Carolina. November 9th, 2020, 8:30 hours, 8:30 a.m. What's the violation, you might ask? Date of, or parade of demonstration permit. Folks, I'm looking here at my official summons. And I want to make a couple of points. The first is, I thank God I live in a country where I can still go and speak out for liberty. In the middle of Charleston, in Marion Square. There is a blatant attack on our First Amendment. And the First Amendment guarantees the right for us to be able to go and speak freely and assemble. That's part of the First Amendment. That's the beauty of the First Amendment. We have everything on tape today from how peaceful and beautiful our rally was. Not one of our people was harassing anyone. Not one of our people tried to go after anybody. But you know what? All we did was we spoke out forcefully, passionately for America. We spoke out passionately for Charleston. I spoke out passionately against the bulldozing of the base of the Calhoun Monument in Charleston, South Carolina. Why do I care so much? Eric, you might say, Eric, why do you keep going on about this? It's not just the monument. It's not just the base. Folks, it is the open door. Do you understand? It's the open door to saying if you don't like something, you can just destroy it. You could just get rid of it. That if you get rid of all this history in Charleston, what is Charleston anymore? Who would want to come to Charleston anymore? Charleston's a city of history. Charleston has these lovely trails that they go on, these carriage rides. Why? Because of the history. And it's not all beautiful. Some of it is tough, you know. But like I passionately said today at that rally, if you're a black person in America today, you should be the proudest person because you come from the strongest of the strong. Your people went through hell and they made it through. If you're an Irish person living in America today, your people went through a lot too, and you're still here. But let me make this clear to you today. I will be going to this court, this summons, and I will fight it. I will fight it for the First Amendment. I will fight it because in this country, we still have a right to assemble. We still have a right, yes, in Marion Square, Charleston, South Carolina, to speak out for liberty, regardless of what an out-of-control mayor may say or city council. I am calling out for the first time publicly Mayor John Tecklenburg. I don't do this proudly or glibly, but it is enough. Enough is enough with getting rid of our freedoms, Mr. Mayor. Your actions are against the liberty of your own people. Your actions have consistently been for the mob and have been against the people. And to you 9 city council members who serve at the pleasure of the people of Charleston, it is so wrong what you're doing. I've got Corey Allen who wants to hop in here with me. Let me see if I can add him in. I'm adding Corey Allen, who is there with me today. And we're adding Brother Corey.
What is up, man?
Well, what an important video to be doing this together on, my friend. Why don't you share about what happened today?
Man, it was honestly one of the most beautiful things I've seen in a long time. I mean, the energy, of course, there weren't as many people. We learned 2 days ago that they were going to be bulldozing the base of the monument, and we decided to do everything possible to get a permit. And we were denied at every route possible. So we decided, well, we've got to do this because we don't have time. They're going to destroy the base of this monument and this treasure chest inside of it in a matter of 72 hours. So we have to do it now or forever hold our peace. So we did it. Um, the energy, the atmosphere, it was all peace and love. And everybody was so happy and respectful. And I mean, I say everybody with us was so happy and peaceful and respectful. And of course, we have footage of them acting like children, like they do, but that's okay. It's the perfect juxtaposition of who we are and who they constantly show themselves to be. Angry, hateful, vitriolic. And you got a ticket, and I want to tell everybody out there, Erik and I were talking last night, and he was fully prepared to go to jail for this. He said, "You know what? This is right. I've prayed on it, and I know that this is the right thing to do, and I'm prepared for whatever happens." And that was so big, man, because that's really what it takes. It takes knowing what's right, and when people aren't being treated fairly under the law, well, that's not right. People much better than either of us have stood up in the face of that same thing, and they made change. And I think that we made a huge step towards that today because, BLM, they gathered in a group of over 25 people, and the police refused to give them a ticket, yet they had no problem. They were ordered to write you that summons, and they refused to write it to BLM. And when asked, they said, well, they don't have an organizer. And then when pressed, they said, well, you're going to have to talk to the captain and the chief. Wow. But man, I saw you doing this live, and I just had to try and jump in because it was truly beautiful. And we've got a lot of footage. The live is up so people can see your powerful words. And man, they really were powerful. So thank you, man, for everything that you did today. Thank you for standing up for what was right. And I was super proud to stand next to you while we did it, man.
Oh, Corey, well, thank you. And you know this, man, I am not the person who goes after law enforcement. I am the person who backs the blue 100%. But let me just tell you, when you have, and this is tough for me to say, because I'm, like I said at the rally today, I'm a positive person. I believe in lifting people up and, taking the bull by the horns. But when you've got law enforcement that has their hands tied behind their back by a mayor who cares more about stopping police from doing their job
Yeah.
than from actually enforcing real crimes and laws and penalizing good people who just want to speak out and use their First Amendment rights. Can you speak to that for a second? Like, this isn't all about law enforcement is
No,
accountability.
absolutely.
And it's
And
hard.
look, I was in DC last week for a Back the Blue rally. We sat there and listened to Trump speak on the White House lawn about supporting law enforcement. I absolutely do. At this point, this really wasn't about law enforcement. This was about politicians in an attempt to appease leftists and hate mobs, tying the hands of the police and forcing them to do things that they probably know they shouldn't be doing, but they've still got to feed their family. At the end of the day, they still have to feed their families. So, it was the time, and this was all about telling Mayor Tecklenburg and the leadership in Charleston that we know what you're doing. Everybody needs to see that you're untrustworthy, and it's our job to show them that. That's what this was 100% about. And, the police that were there, they were super respectful. Even the officer that wrote you the citation, he was very apologetic. He hated it. You could tell he was cringing having to write it, but he was ordered to do so by the mayor. It's incredible. It's incredible. And that's what's happening in Charleston as we speak. You know what I mean?
My prayer, and I know you agree with me, Corey, on this, my prayer is by me getting this ticket today, that we are revealing what is really taking place in the Holy City. And, someone just asked a minute ago, how much is the fine? I don't know. There is no number.
Word is it's about $1,000.
Okay, that's the typical. So, but folks, I can't sit idly by and go and just pay this and go, oh well, this is fine. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I have two traffic tickets my whole life, and I'm very proud of that because I even go under the speed limit. I'm the super careful guy since those two tickets years ago. But my point is, you have to stand on principle, and the principle here is un-American. It's unconstitutional. And if we let these things slide, folks, all of our freedoms will go. They'll all go away because we'll be giving them away because they're counting on us to just not fight back. And again, the right way, honor, dignity, and respect. So please pray for this. Just pray for me. This is my own personal decision to fight this in court. But I am proud to have stood for you today and have stood with Corey Allen and great patriots and just say enough is enough. No more socialism in Charleston. No more intimidation. Those folks were trying to drown us out, and my throat is almost out. My voice from speaking passionately, but I even looked over them numerous times, as you know, Corey, and I said, I love you. Even if you hate me, I love you and I respect you. You know, I even called them out by name. And that's my witness, and that's the most important thing. But Corey, I'm proud of what we accomplished.
Me too, man. And we are all so proud of what you did today too, man. I mean, you went in there knowing that, it was going to be a personal cost to you. You didn't know how much that personal cost was going to be, but you stood up for what was right, man, and you did it. Jeez, that's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and get off. I had to come in and tell people, like, it was amazing today, and thank Erik in front of everybody. So have a good night, man. I'm going to sign off. You keep doing what you're doing. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Corey. And folks, again, and pray for Corey. He does such great work, and I know he's been attacked and maligned, for his background and stuff like that. And it takes a lot to go out there and consistently report what's really going on the ground. It's very hard, and I got a taste a little bit of that today, and I've been, standing for the history because I love this country, and I don't want to see America turn into something it shouldn't be. I don't want to see the country I read about in homeschooling turn into something else when we can learn from all of it. And you know what the saddest thing? I told ABC4 this today. I said, I wish I could sit down with these people who hate me and just say, why? Why can't we talk this through, Why can't we talk about real reform? Why can't we talk about monuments and history in a way where you're not calling me effing this and blind and that and leprechaun? And, why? Why do you have to go there? But, if we don't fight that way, we fight in honor, dignity, and respect. And I pray that fighting this summons will cause a lot more courage to build up in Charleston. Have a good night, everyone.